year. So cycles break the year down into major training periods. There may be 2 or 3 training cycles, depending on, how your team and your coach, how they select that, and also based on your meet schedule. Long course season, you normally have 1 training cycle. Traditionally, you start in April and it lasts anywhere up to like July to the middle of August, depending on the championship meet season. But there's 2 options for short course season. Typically, you're going to have 1 or 2 training cycles. In option 1, you get a single winter training cycle. So fall and winter are put together. And when you do that, there's some pros and there's some cons to this, right? So it normally starts like September, and then, it ends somewhere in the end of March, possibly something like this, depending again on the championship season. So the pros here is the training cycle is longer. It allows for more time to develop each of the 3 focus areas of endurance, speed, and explosivity. So you have more time to concentrate on each area because you got a longer season. It also increases the length and therefore potential gains within your strength training cycle, because that strength training cycle dovetails with your in-water cycle. Now, the cons on this are significant. So mental fatigue may be significantly greater as the season extends over a longer period of time. The kids get kind of burned out a little bit more. It's because it's such a long season and there's so much training in there without any real ability to taper and see that heavy success. In addition, there's more emotional pressure exerted by staking everything on like one end of the season performance. So there's a lot of pressure that occurs there. And other concerns that can impact the performance include injuries and illnesses that might occur, as well as tapers that might not produce your desired result. This can leave the swimmer with an unfulfilled feeling after they've invested so much and they didn't feel like they got much of a return. And so it has a long-term potential of risk due to the lack of dedication, determination in future training cycles if they don't do well. So there's a little bit of risk, or maybe a lot of risk sometimes, with a single winter training cycle. Now, the double winter training cycle, again, there's pros and cons to that. Normally, we're looking at starting in maybe September, and then there's maybe a big meet at the end of December or somewhere right around there. And then in January, they start up again, and then that goes through the next championship meet season. And so that's another developmental cycle. And we're looking at that's probably somewhere around the end of March or so. So the pros here, you're decreasing the risk of a single high pressure competition. It creates more opportunities for peak performance. And by tapering athletes more than one competition, it also reduces the mental fatigue. The impact on injuries and illnesses are less. This helps a swimmer feel more like they're, got a better opportunity, gives them a little bit of break. So there's a lot of pluses to doing a double winter training cycle. So now the cons is a training cycle, again, kind of the opposite of the other one, is shorter. So it's allowing for less time to develop your endurance, your speed, and your explosivity. And it also decreases the length and potential gains within your strength training cycle. So let's look down into the